Washed Up Sports Podcast.
Washed Up Sports Podcast.
The Washed Up Sports Podcast. What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a Washed Up Sports Podcast. This is episode 42. My name is Evan Klein, and I'm glad to be joined alongside my co-host, Max Lindley.
What's going on, people? Evan, how you doing, boss?
Good. It's good to be back after the week off. I'm good. A lot better after last night, seeing the Red Sox beat the Yankees in that wild card game.
Yeah. Did you want to, before we get into all the sports, did you want to give an explanation as to why we were off last week? I feel like our listeners deserve a little bit of an
explanation. It's actually pretty good. So, so the start of my semester, a lot of just classes and stuff like that. And then it happened that three of my classes all ended up having exams within the same 2 days of each other in the same week. So I was just in the library the whole week studying for exams and taking exams last week. It was very hectic and I just didn't really have any time. And, school first, guys. There you go, Mom. So that was kind of why I couldn't record last week. But we're back and we're back. Excited for episode 42. But thank you. Yeah, I did owe an explanation, and I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, I took the opportunity and I went away for the weekend, as Tyler said on his show.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Well deserved, Max.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But next time, and either of us are out, we'll try to get a fill-in because we do like bringing you guys something every week. We'll try to get one of our other hosts to come on and fill in for either of us if we're not here. Because
it's a unique opportunity for the viewers too.
Yeah, it's unique, and we know that you guys love hearing the podcast every week, and
that's right.
So we appreciate you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
So Ev, before we started talking about last week, you mentioned the Red Sox Yankees game last night. Obviously, the Red Sox defeated the Yankees in the wild card game at Fenway Park. Green Monster stole 2 homers last night.
It's both a blessing and a curse. That Green Monster.
Blessing for the Red Sox.
Last night it was. Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So want to just touch on the wild card. Your thoughts. And we'll get into a little baseball talk, or did you want to talk football first?
I'll just go over the wild card a little bit, the first game, the AL, and then we can get into football, and then maybe come back to the rest of the way the rest of the brackets shaping up in the postseason.
And we'll talk about the rest of the AL and the NL.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Sounds great.
Yeah. So
just before you start, when we get to the NL, just a warning, we don't know what's going to happen. We're recording before the Cardinals-Dodgers game tonight, so Evan's going to give a little perspective for both of those teams later, just a heads up.
Yeah, absolutely. I will certainly do that. And before I forget, we're an authentic sports commentary from the perspective of 2 washed-up athletes.
Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, I need to give, applaud of the night, MVP of the night to Nathan Eovaldi for coming out and just absolutely shoving out there. A guy, people have doubted him his whole career, and, he's gone through 2 Tommy Johns. For him to come out in the biggest game of his life and just, between that and, he's pitched in a World Series before in 2018, 2 of the biggest games of his life, he hasn't disappointed in the postseason. And, the Red Sox bats came alive on the back of Eovaldi. And really just shut down the Yankees. They didn't walk anyone, which was not walking people is so big in baseball. And I was just really happy with how they came out in a game where they were not the Vegas favorite. So it's very, very exciting, and very happy about that. Interested to see what's going to happen with the Yankees in the offseason in terms of Aaron Boone, potentially keeping or not keeping his job.
They'll probably keep him.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. He in his press conference yesterday sounded like a guy who was maybe, expecting to be fired, but we'll see what happens. And then it's interesting to see, you got Rizzo and Gallo, whose contracts are expiring. You want to see what they're going to do with some pitching in the offseason. But very disappointing night for Garrett Cole, only able to record 6 outs out there. The ace of the New York Yankees, over $300 million man. So very interesting there. It's going to be a lot of changes this off season, but in terms of the Red Sox, they got Tampa coming up, and should be a great series.
Yeah, pumped.
Yep,
absolutely pumped.
Absolutely.
Even though Tampa's kind of had the Red Sox number as of late, I think I think the Red Sox will be able to pull through.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, Max.
Yeah.
Anything can happen in the postseason.
You know it. All right, so we've had an interesting weekend, and then week following the football, the Jets won a game. I don't want to go too in depth about that. That was just ridiculous. Green Bay beats the Steelers. Refs sucked this weekend. There's just a ton of shit we could talk about, but we want to talk about this week. We want to make some picks for this week, and then maybe we could touch on some things that happened last week afterwards. How's that, Ev?
That sounds absolutely marvelous, Max. Well done.
Awesome. So let's start with Thursday night football, Rams at Seahawks. This is going to be tonight for all of our listeners. Rams lost last week to the Cardinals, and the Seahawks obviously beat the 49ers. So both coming off of a little bit of a different week. So it'll be a great game. I think this is going to be the best Thursday night game of the season so far. Probably going to be high scoring. Not really too impressed with Seattle's defense so far, but the Rams defense obviously great. Evan, do you have a pick for this game?
Ooh, I do have a pick for this game. I think the Rams are going to bounce back nicely and win this football game.
I do too. I
Yeah.
think Matty Stafford is going to be able to pull through.
Yeah, I've
Bring
been
his team
happy with
through.
him so
Yeah.
far this year. You know, you need Mr. Cup to really get in the mix there and do his thing, but in the passing game. But yeah, no, I think the Rams are going to be able to pull through with that and that good defense and Matt Stafford leading the way.
Yeah, but I mean, this is one of those games where we're going to look back next week, and if the Seahawks win, we're going to be like, it was always the Seahawks. Like, it was the Seahawks the whole time. It should. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's like one of those games.
I agree with you, Max.
Yeah. So let's move on. We got another good game. We've got the Eagles at the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey has not been ruled out yet, but he is questionable. Eagles coming off 30 points and like 400 plus yards against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. They ultimately lost. And then the Panthers obviously also coming off a routing from the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. So both teams looking for a bounce back week. I'd say Philly needs this win a little more than Carolina, just because Carolina has looked like a stronger team so far and Philly has looked a little iffy. Philly's defense good, Carolina's defense great. So I don't anticipate this game being like a 30-25 game. I think there's going to be like a 17-13 game or a 21-14 game, something low like that.
Sure. Yeah, I do know. I think that could be
ultimately though, I think I'm going to go with the Eagles here.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts gets a little bit of a bounce back week after having a pretty good performance against Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah. I'm interesting to see how, like, for the first time this season, I know Sam Darnold's whole career to this point has been adversity, but I'm excited to see how he deals with adversity for the first time this season. So that should be fun.
I mean, and he didn't look awful last week either.
No.
He didn't look awful. He definitely didn't look like Sam Darnold of the New York Jets.
Having the best running back in the league, not there, that makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have said the same thing about Teddy B last year too.
Sure.
Moving on though, we've got the Bears at the Raiders. This is an interesting game here.
It is interesting.
It really is, because you got the Raiders coming off a loss where they kind of kick themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
What's the phrase? What's the phrase? Shot themselves in the foot?
Yeah.
I think that's what the Raiders did on Monday Night Football. Definitely could have been in that game.
I wonder if that saying came from Plaxico Burress.
I don't think so. I think it's been around a little longer than that.
You're probably right.
But that'd be funny. Shout out Plaxico.
Shout out Plaxico, the GOAT right there.
Go.
No, it is interesting because, dude, based off last week, seeing the, because the Raiders went into that one undefeated, dude, that just made me think about how much more legit the Chargers are. The Chargers are legit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the AFC West is probably the best division in the NFL right now. The NFC West is getting a lot of love. but I do think the AFC West is absolutely legit. You have some really good defenses over there, minus the Kansas City Chiefs. And
Bro,
you know,
that shit's
like,
crazy right now. Like,
dude, they're so it's bad. Maybe we'll do a little stat lookup and a breakdown about that if we get some time another time or something like that. But
yeah.
yeah, their defense has been getting torched. Do you have a pick in this game, Evan?
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Damn, bro, you stole my pick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ride with Derek Carr and the Raiders. Get back on a hot streak.
yeah, I think they played a really good team last week. And this week I think they're gonna bounce back. Just like one last thing about the Raiders. I just want to show some love to Hunter Renfrow for just like an absolutely unreal game. Not only did he catch a touchdown, but that's play on special teams where he stopped that fake punt and just form tackled this guy and just pop right short of the first down marker was literally like the play of the night that I needed to see. I shout out to Hunter Renfrow. That guy is just like such a hard worker. I feel like he literally, like at Clemson, he was such a monster, and like, bro, people never thought he was going to be anything there. He's catching touchdowns in national championships. Nobody thought he could do anything in the NFL. He's catching touchdowns from Derek Carr for the Raiders. That guy's something else. Hunter Renfrow. He reminds me of an Edelman, if I'm being honest with you.
Edelman Welker.
Yeah, he's that that little slot guy he's gonna play with heart.
Yeah, Derek Carr said he can run the same route 100 different ways. Yeah. And then that's the epitome of Julian Edelman and Wes Welker. So
sure.
you hit the nail on the head there.
Appreciate it.
I do enjoy Hunter Renfrow a lot too. He's great.
Yeah. I enjoy both the Hunter Renfrow of the Raiders and the one of the Red Sox.
Hell yeah. So we're both going with the Raiders there. Let's move on to the next game. We got Browns at Chargers. Wow, this 4:00 slate is packed. Some really good games.
Browns at Chargers.
Both teams obviously coming off of gritty wins. Yeah. The Chargers came off probably a better win. The Browns played, their defense is legit, dude. Their defense is good.
Did you see Myles Garrett played with his sleeve? He played sleeveless, and then they randomly drug tested him the next morning because his arms are so jacked.
Oh my god, dude, he's huge.
Oh my god,
he's huge.
Myles
he's so
Garrett,
big.
He's such a fucking unit.
Yeah, I would never want to be a quarterback in the NFL just because of guys like Khalil Mack and Myles Garrett.
Oh my god, dude! Imagine
Von Miller too. Like,
dude. Myles Garrett, I always think about how scary it must have been back when Mason Rudolph thing, when Myles gets running at him with the helmet. Oh my god! Like Myles Garrett could legitimately kill someone with his hands like very easily, like very easily. Yeah,
death. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, had to praise our boy there. But at the end of the day, and this one, I'm riding with my boy Baker.
Just to be clear, we're praising him for being jacked, not for slamming someone in the head with a helmet.
And he's a really good football player, not for when his temper overcame his emotions and he made a bad choice. But that was a crazy play back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ride with my boy Baker here.
Oh, dude. I am too. I think the Browns are looking good. I think Odell's finally going to have a big week this week. He's due.
I hope.
Yeah, so we've been picking pretty similarly. I don't like this, man.
Me neither. We need some switch up here. I'll get us some switch up on this next game or two.
We got 3 more games.
Yeah,
3 more games.
I'll give us some switch up. You pick first on this next one.
49ers, Cardinals, and we don't even have to break down this game. It's the Cardinals.
Yeah, it is the Cardinals. Fuck.
You don't have to pick against me.
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals are so clearly going to win.
Yeah, so I think so too.
I have to do
I mean, you never know. Trey Lance starting for the 49ers. They're going to have a full week to game plan for them. So, they could come out swinging. You never know. It's a rookie quarterback who's finally getting a week to prep. Like, look, Justin Fields, he got a week to prep. He came out swinging this week, or last weekend. You never know.
Yeah, back to, I don't mean to like take a step back to where we were before, but with Justin Fields, like, because they're playing the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Just like how I think it's funny how like the whole season I sent you that DM earlier where it was
Oh yeah.
like every week Nagy is like, yeah, Justin's gonna fill in this week, but Andy Dalton's our guy. And then it's like Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears every
And he's
single
healthy.
week. Yeah, every single week. And then this week you just get announced Justin Fields was now the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
I mean, it's the right decision, so we should applaud
it is a
Nagy
decision, but it's
where
just-
he needs to be applauded because he's such a bad coach, and like there are few places where you can actually applaud him.
Be a little more transparent, Nagy.
Oh no, he's awful. I hate Matt Nagy. He's a bad coach.
Yeah, he does
Bad
do a great
coach.
job.
Does not do a great job up there. Let's get back to the Niners Cardinals. I'm sticking with the Cardinals. Are you
Yeah,
picking
me
the
too.
Niners?
No, I got to go with the Cardinals.
Alrighty.
I'm not going to throw away picks again this week.
Okay. Sunday night football. This is gonna. Do you remember that Rams Chiefs game from a couple
On
years ago?
NBC.
Do you remember that Rams Chiefs game on Monday Night Football a couple years ago, where it was like 53-49 or something? It was a crazy game.
Rings a bell.
That's what this Bills Chiefs game is going to be.
Ooh.
That's what this Bills Chiefs game is going to be. Because, as I said earlier, the Chiefs defense is ass. And Patrick Mahomes can sling that ball all over the field. And
Yeah.
their running game has picked up recently. So you really don't know who's going to win this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have an idea.
You go first.
I'll pick the Chiefs. I'll ride with the Chiefs.
Let's go, Buffalo. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
Honestly, I saw this earlier in the week, and I just want to double check it.
Are the Chiefs home?
Yes, it's in Kansas City.
Yeah, give me the Bills on the road. Love that. What are we checking on here?
I'm checking the odds for this game. I saw it earlier in the week.
I think it could be a close spread.
It's -3. Chiefs -3. I'd hammer that.
Yeah.
I think that's a
good bet,
really
but
good bet.
I like the Bills too. Maybe hit a little upset here.
Yeah, no,
Is it really an upset? It is an upset, but
I think they're pretty evenly matched. I
Yeah.
mean, Buffalo's the only
Bills are
team
hot.
to
They just shut out a team
Buffalo's
by
the only
40
team
points.
to shut out two teams in a season.
Yeah, just
So-
fucking put up 40 points.
Yeah.
So Josh Allen,
He's good, man. He's good.
he's real good.
All right, so you got Bills, I got Chiefs. Moving on, Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Unfortunately, Manning brothers are not back yet. Not sure when they're back. We'll have to check on that. We'll post on
Did
the
anything-
Instagram because
did
they're
them-
electric.
Yeah, they are. Did them not coming back have anything to do with Eli Manning sticking his middle
No,
fingers?
no.
on
They
national
had like
television?
a schedule. They had like a schedule.
Okay,
of,
because they're
like,
losing
what weeks they're
viewership.
doing it.
They're losing
Oh,
viewership.
absolutely.
Simply.
Dude, people like that Monday night, and it's not the Monday Night Football cast. Like, it's not those guys' fault. It's
Yeah,
just ESPN's fault.
Yeah. No, I agree. They're just not. The guys on the regular broadcast are not Peyton and Eli.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they don't have LeBron James coming in for interviews in the middle of the game.
Exactly. That was awesome. And you have
Yeah.
LeBron trying to break down plays. Like
Yeah, it's hilarious.
it was great. Like you really can't make it up.
Yeah.
So Colts obviously surprised everyone with a win against Miami. Carson Wentz had 2 sprained ankles, then it went down to 1 sprained ankle. So it looks like he's kind of on the mend. Kind of, but that dude gets
Carson.
hurt
Yeah.
a lot. Ravens dominating win over the Broncos last week, and that defense just keeps on getting better in my opinion. So
I agree.
I don't know. I'm gonna ride with Baltimore.
Yeah, I gotta go with Baltimore. I just think they're so easily gonna win this game.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Carson Wentz could catch a flame, and maybe this is the week that Indianapolis really figures it out. But I just have a feeling it's the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is so good at football.
He's legit, man. He's legit.
Yeah, he is. He really
There's
is.
a reason he won MVP.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're spot on with that, Max. I really just I think he's doing something special this year. Their lack of a running game, honestly, is just completely picked up because he is just so good at running the ball too. And he's efficient at the end of the day. When he protects the football, he's such an efficient quarterback.
And dude, his throwing over the past 2 years has gotten so much better.
Hell yeah.
He's up there as like good passer.
He is a good passer. He really is. He throws a good ball. Oh, he throws a welcoming football, you know?
He does. It's not a hard ball to catch. You remember when he first got in there, some of the balls he was throwing didn't have the best spiral and people were giving him shit for it. But dude, it's his first year in the NFL. He's now had a couple of years under his belt.
Yeah, he had a lot of time to get better and work with
playoff win under his belt. He's legit, man. Love Lamar. I know you wanted to talk about Stefon Gilmore getting released and then traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round draft pick by the New England Patriots.
I definitely did want to talk about that. The Patriots, coming off such a tough loss in the Brady return, the game was a matter of inches in that field goal at the end. And then this news, so you're 1-3, this news comes out that, Gilmore was going to be ready to come back after week 6. And then today he's released and traded. He's one of the, former defensive player of the year. I think he's a great player.
2019.
Definitely a cap hit was going on with him. But, I know you have some speculation and thoughts, but for me, I didn't really like the move at all. I think they should have given him a chance to come back and prove himself. Maybe the injury was worse than what they originally anticipated. I don't know, but I feel like there was some value to be had in terms of trade value. I feel like Stefon Gilmore is such an established player and good enough of a player where I think that, I think he had trade value. There's been guys who have expiring contracts who won't know, they won't sign, and you get more for them than we did with, Stefon Gilmore. And I know, you might not completely agree with everything I'm saying here, but I really don't love that they just got a 6th-round pick for a guy that is a former Pro Bowler and defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunately for the fans, it's the Patriot way. It's always been this way. They did it to Ty Law. They did it to freaking Malcolm Butler. They did it to so many players. They've done it to Jamie Collins 3 times, and now he's back.
Yeah,
So it unfortunately, I think it's the Patriots way. Will it work? We've yet to see without Tom Brady. But I do think Patriots fans need to be confident in what we got going on in our defensive backfield. We've got JC Jackson, who is toe for toe with Stefon Gilmore and Jalen Ramsey for the best corner in the league. Man-to-man zone coverage. He knows what he's freaking doing.
Turnover machine for sure.
He's big. He has long arms. He knows how to catch a ball. He's great. And then on the inside, you got Jonathan Jones, who can go toe-to-toe with those slot receivers, those speedy guys who can keep up with Tyreek Hill. We still got Devin McCourty in the back. You got Adrian Phillips coming in, covering tight ends, playing safety. Kyle Duggar coming in, covering guys. We've got a good secondary, and for the amount of money you're going to spend on Stefon Gilmore, it's really not worth it when, as you see, we brought Jamie Collins in, who is going to help out so much at the linebacker depth position. You can now move Kyle Van Noy over to the edge, let him pass rush like he loves to and not really have to worry about coverage because you have Jamie Collins, the freak, covering with his long-ass arms, batting balls down. It's Jamie Collins. So, honestly, I'm not too upset. Obviously, I love Stefon Gilmore. I have his jersey, so that kind of sucks. But I think he'll be great in Carolina. I think it's going to be a good fit. Obviously, he went to South Carolina. He was a Gamecock, so kind of going home. I'm pretty sure he's from South Carolina, so that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, but
yeah,
it doesn't justify shit for me.
No, I understand you.
Yeah.
And wish him well, obviously. He's of course awesome player, Patriot forever, Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl champ, big part of our Super Bowl.
Oh, obviously. He had that game-saving pick against the Rams.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm glad we got to digest that a little bit and talk about it.
Yeah.
But so at this point, I think we should get an ad in.
Yeah, we gotta pay the bills, as they say.
Yes, but if you're not really into ads, if that's not really your thing, consider subscribing to our Patreon where you get episodes a day early, and it's also an ad-free broadcast if you're subscribed to Patreon. So, you don't have to deal with that. But if you decide that you don't want to do that for, whatever, ridiculous reason that might be going through your head, then here's an ad for you.
Today's episode is brought to you by the Daily Scoop. Daily Scoop is the premier dog walking and pet sitting service in Bergen County, located in Glen Rock. Daily Scoop provides service not only to Glen Rock, but to several surrounding towns as well. They ensure that you are getting the best possible care for your pets while you cannot be with them. From the simple dog walk to daycare, at the Daily Scoop, they have you covered. And if you need to leave town to visit your family or friends for the weekend, have no fear. Daily Scoop offers pet sitting services as well. Inquire for more at www.thedailyscoop.com. That's scoop with a K at www.thedailyscoop.com. Here's Max with their Instagram.
Daily Scoop LLC. Check them out. Scoop with a K.
Today's episode is in partnership with the Retro Recovery. Retro Recovery is New Jersey's #1 source for vintage clothing and 90s nostalgia. From vintage football jerseys and starter jackets for the draft to vintage baseball tees and caps for opening day, the Retro Recovery has you covered. Get you swagged out. And
yeah.
free shipping is offered nationwide.
Hell yeah.
Woo! Shop the spring collection now at theretrorecovery.com. And if you want to save a buck, use code WASHEDUP. That's WASHEDUP for 10% off of your order. That's code WASHEDUP at theretrorecovery.com for 10% off your order. Get your gear now.
Welcome back from that ad that you totally could have not watched if you subscribed to our Patreon.
Yeah. Those 2 or so minutes, 3 or so minutes could have been avoided, guys. Link in bio.
Link in bio. So we're going to get into the rest of that postseason baseball digest that we were talking about previously.
And I'm going to kick back and let Evan talk.
So we talked about the AL wild card and, Boston going to Tampa over in game 1. But I want to talk about the rest of the American League, where we're going to have White Sox and Houston Astros, which will be so fun. White Sox are one of my favorite, most electric teams of the year. The Astros, the cheaters, they're, a really good team this year as well. But, and they've just got, names for days, great pitching, great hitting, great fielding. They cover all of it. But, I think this White Sox team, managed by Tony La Russa, who's, you somehow got this team to, really come alive this year, is something special. Tim Anderson, Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Grandal back, best catchers in the league. Lance Lynn, one of the Cy Young candidates of the year. Rodon, another Cy Young candidate of the year. It's just, and then that bullpen with headlined by Hendricks and Craig Kimbrell. It's a star-studded lineup. They can do some serious damage, and for that reason, I think the White Sox are going to win this series in 6 games. I really do. I love this White Sox team, and I think they have good as chance of any to win the World Series this year. That's how serious I am about this Chicago White Sox squad. Moving over to the NL, you got the wild card game between the Dodgers, 106-win wild card team. Is something that we don't really see going up against the Cardinals, who had the longest win streak of the MLB season. Going into the playoffs, just about, is crazy. So this is going to be a crazy game. Wainwright, a guy with real playoff experience, is going to be on the hill. So
And Scherzer.
So two guys with playoff experience, two Hall of Famers. So that's going to be interesting. And then the winner of that goes to see San Francisco, the winner of that crazy NL West. That was such a crazy and tough division this year. San Francisco, not much more needs to be said about them. We've seen what they can do this season. The sky is the limit for the San Francisco Giants, and wouldn't be surprised to see them do serious damage as well. But if the Dodgers get hot, it's going to be tough now with Max Muncy, with that elbow injury not being there. But if San Francisco gets hot, Dodgers get hot, they could both, obviously they're, 2 top teams. Enough said about them. And, it's very, people know about those guys. And then, a very interesting little series on the other side, which is the Atlanta Braves against the Milwaukee Brewers. Atlanta Braves won that, NL East division, just notched it out over the Phillies. Obviously a disappointing season for the Mets, but I don't want to, make anyone else sad at this point. So the Mets fans are already sad enough, but the Braves are here and they're a very complete, good team as well, with some really good starting pitching. Ozzie Albies, arguably the best second baseman, in baseball right now, headline that team. And, Freddie Freeman, the vet, just so many great players who really just, contributed this year and found a way for that team that, wasn't necessarily favored to win that division, and I also have to give a big shout out to my guy, the Vanderbilt guy, and Dansby Swanson having such a great year over at shortstop over there. But they're going up against a real scrappy Milwaukee Brewers team, which, is not going to be easy. Best starting pitching, probably the best pitching in baseball. The starting pitchers, they've got like 3 aces and like 4 really great starting pitchers, an electric bullpen, so, and just some great hitters in, Omar Narvaez and, so many other, underrated guys who really just came alive this year. So I like that Brewers team, and I think they're going to take that and make it onto the NLCS. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Wanted to give you guys a breakdown of mine and, just let you know how I was feeling about this postseason bracket, up to date. Excited to see where it takes us into next week for sure, Max.
Yeah, it should be exciting.
Yep.
Want to know what else is exciting?
Tell me what else is exciting.
Hockey's back next week.
Oh my God, hockey is back. Let's not sleep that somehow the NBA is already playing preseason games too, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to fathom.
As Celtics fans, Max and I are not going to be thinking about basketball for a little bit right now. They're going to be so unbelievably average.
We'll see.
But yes, hockey is back, and Max has news to talk about regarding hockey.
Yeah, Chirps and Chell. Me and Jared Brazel's hockey podcast, presented by Washed Up Sports Podcast.
Yours truly.
Coming Monday. What's the date on that, Ev? What's today's Monday. The 6th.
Today's the 6th, so you got Thursday the 7th, Friday the 8th, Saturday the 9th, Sunday the 10th, and Monday, October 11th.
October 11th, Monday. Probably we'll do 12 Eastern. We do everything 12 Eastern. Monday, 12 Eastern. Chirps and Chell.
Chirps and Chell. Check them out.
Yeah, and we got great hockey talk, great content coming from that side of the rink.
Yeah, I'm super excited to listen to you guys, chop it up over there. But yeah, Chirps and Chell,
guys. Just to throw it out there, Jared knows probably 5 times as much about hockey than I do. Like, that's just like a fact.
Jared knows 5 times as much about hockey as like any regular human being. He's very
No, I'm just saying, like, I played hockey. I consider myself like kind of, I kind of know what I'm talking about most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I'm. I know.
But most importantly, Max, you're a hockey guy. You're a guy's guy. You're a hockey's guy's guy.
I don't know what that means. I don't. But it'll be good. Jared knows what the hell he's talking about. I'm gonna sound like I'm talking out of my ass sometimes with how smart he is. But get prepped for that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. It's coming Monday.
Monday.
October 11th.
That's right. I can't wait.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be fun stuff.
Check them out.
And then we got Tyler's Tailgate Talk coming tomorrow for you guys.
So much
Friday. Yeah, but we got good stuff, guys. Check it out.
We do. We really do have good stuff. Max is always got to tip my cap to El co-host over here, always working his tail off. So cheers to Max. We're out here. So but anyways, before we break it down, anything else that you wanted to cover, Max?
No, I don't think so. Oh, want to talk some fantasy? How are you doing in the league we're in? I haven't checked in a while.
We have the same record. We're both 1-3. Thanks to Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Lockett, my team fucking sucks. Like, literally, those guys are supposed to be so freaking good, and they suck. They all suck. Everyone
You're just overreacting. They suck. It's overreaction Thursday. I mean, I don't agree with your picking of Calvin Ridley. That was someone I was going to stay away from. Tyler Lockett, I would hold on to him. I'm looking at him right here. He's on my other team in my more important leagues.
Last 2 weeks he sucked.
Well, I just like to update you on my other league. So I'm in first place in one league and I'm in second place in my other league. And then I'm in like 7th and 12th and like fucking garbage in the other 3.
I'm like 1-3 in all my leagues. Like all 4 of them.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough shit. The worst is like you have the same record in certain leagues and you're like different places. Like I'm 3-1 in 2 leagues and like I'm first and second. Like it's so annoying.
Oh,
like,
I know. I feel that.
like, and same with I'm 1-3 in 2 other leagues and I'm like 11th and then like 6th
Fair.
or like 7th. It's funky.
Yeah.
That's
But
all.
I need Devontae Adams, Mr. Wide Receiver 1 in the entire league to
Pull
pick
through.
it up. Yeah. I need that.
Absolutely.
But
I hear that.
But yeah, so always good to touch on some fantasy. We'll try to throw a fantasy segment in there in the coming weeks for sure. Do like get a little bit of a deeper dive into that if you're down with that, Max.
Yeah, sure. We'll also try to get a guest on next week.
Yeah.
We just wanted to talk about football. We haven't in so long, and we've got the wild card, so we just figured this week we'd just do a pod.
Yeah, absolutely. See you later, Yankees.
Bye, Bronx Bombers.
Goodbye, Bronxy the Turtle.
Yeah, that was funny. Peace out, kid.
I saw a tweet. It was like the fact that the Yankees have a rally turtle is making George Steinbrenner roll over in his grave.
Do you think they left the turtle there?
No, I don't think they left the turtle there.
Just because like they don't need it anymore. Their season's over. So like,
no, Nestor Cortez owns the turtle.
oh, does he? It's his turtle.
He's bringing it home with him.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So but anyway,
shout out to New York Yankees. You'll suck. Go Sox.
Go Sox.
Go Sox.
And shout out to Kyle Schwab.
Kyle Schwab, good game.
Yeah.
Very good game. He hit
yes.
one out of Fenway Park. Very, very good game.
Absolutely.
Verdugo playing so well.
Verdugo Red Sox.
Hey, it's Doogie.
It is. There's Max with his classic impressions.
Yeah, all day.
But anyway, you guys got to make sure you follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all other social media platforms as well. And consider subscribing to Patreon. I said subscribing to Patreon. For a measly $2 a month, you get early episodes, ad broadcasts, exclusive content. You also should definitely I'm going to reiterate that you should follow us on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube, because like those are where we're definitely by far like the most content is just like pumping out daily. And, the YouTube is electric because like that's just where all our stuff is. And like you don't want to miss it. So
yeah, and if you don't like watching us, which completely understandable, sometimes we look ugly. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, everywhere you can find a podcast. We're there. Search a Washed Up Sports Podcast. Search Tyler's Tailgate Talk. Don't search yet, but around next week, search Chirps and Chell. We're on all streaming platforms as well if you'd rather just listen to us.
Yeah, I always forget to say, like, guys, a lot of you like Spodcast and Apple Music. Like, we get some listening there, so I really think, like, if that's your thing, stick with that. There was one thing that I did want to mention real quick regarding our listeners from Spotify and Apple. So what I wanted to say was that we are officially a worldwide podcast, and
we've been officially a worldwide podcast
forever. I know,
for a very long time.
I know, but I just wanted to through the countries to tell people that we have listeners in Mexico, Chile, France, Israel, United Kingdom, and Canada, which is so sick.
We have some different ones. I'm pretty sure we have some in China for our YouTube.
Yes.
And there was another one. I believe would Ireland fall under the no, it wouldn't fall under the UK. Yeah, Ireland.
Yeah. 5% of our US listening is in Texas. I don't know if you knew that.
Shout out Texas.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty sick. But
Yeah.
2% of the US listening out in Florida. So shout out to you guys too.
Yeah, hang on down there. Um, anything else, Ev?
No, that's it. Just thanks for listening, guys. Episode 42, 43 next week.
Oh, rate the podcast too if you like it. I
Yeah,
think that's a
why
thing.
not? Why
Right?
the fuck not?
Like, give it a 5-star rating if
Yeah.
you think it's a 5-star. If you think it's a 1-star,
Fuck
fuck
it.
off.
Fuck it. Just do it.
If you think it's a 1-star, fuck off.
A man of wise words, guys.
We'll see you next week.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the rest of our channel and subscribe. Make sure to follow our Instagram and maybe consider subscribing on Patreon for our bonus content. You can only find it there. I promise it will be well worth it. Thanks.